I'm Tanvi Taneja, and with me is Anita Anand with the Midday News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says COVID-19 challenge will help in building a self-reliant India. Reiterates vocal for local mantra. Government has adopted people-centric, people-driven and planet-friendly approach, says the Prime Minister. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman says public sector banks have disbursed 12,200 crore rupees to states and union territories so far. More than 1,50,000 tests being conducted in a day. Recovery rate improves to 49.21% in the country. And INS Shardul with 233 Indians on board to reach Porbandar coast today from Iran. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said the country has moved from the policy of command and control to plug and play in order to prepare it for the post-COVID world. Addressing the industry heads at the 95th annual plenary session of Indian Chamber of Commerce, ICC, on the theme of People, Planet and Profit in Kolkata through video conference today, the Prime Minister highlighted the government's people-centric, people-driven and planet-friendly policies. He said it is the time for bold investments and bold decisions to build a globally competitive, strong domestic supply chain in the country. The Prime Minister said the country is fighting multiple challenges on many fronts. He affirmed that these odds have further strengthened the determination of the country. Highlighting the importance of an Atmanirbhar Bharat, he said the country is determined to convert the challenges into opportunities and termed self-reliance as the key solution to pave the path for the post-COVID world.
कोरोना का संकट पूरी दुनिया में बना हुआ है. पूरी दुनिया इससे लड़ रही है. कोरोना वॉरियर्स के साथ हमारा देश इस लड़ाई में जरा भी पीछे नहीं है. लेकिन इन सब के बीच हर देशवासी अब इस संकल्प से भी भरा हुआ है कि इस आपदा को अवसर में परिवर्तित करना है. इससे हमें देश का बहुत बड़ा टर्निंग पॉइंट भी बना रहा है. ये टर्निंग पॉइंट क्या है? आत्मनिर्भर भारत.
The Prime Minister said self-reliance has been paramount in government's policy decisions in the last 6 years and maintained that the COVID crisis has given an opportunity to speed up efforts in this direction. Remembering Swami Vivekananda's mantra for Indians to use their own produce and find markets in other countries, he termed self-reliance as the key solution for India. He said that Swami Vivekananda has shown the path for a post-COVID world. Emphasizing on the need to cut down imports, he said production of goods in the country has been encouraged by various reforms announced by the government and reiterated his call to go vocal for local.
आत्मनिर्भर भारत अभियान का सीधा सा मतलब है कि भारत दूसरे देशों पर अपनी निर्भरता कम से कम करे. हर वो चीज जिसे इंपोर्ट करने के लिए देश मजबूर है, वो भारत में ही कैसे बने. भविष्य में उन्हीं प्रोडक्ट्स का भारत एक्सपोर्टर कैसे बने, इस दिशा में हमें और तेजी से काम करना है.
Appreciating the efforts of small traders and producers, he said that when we buy local produce from them, we are not just paying them for their goods and services, but we are honouring their contribution. Underlining the reforms of definitional change of MSME to decriminalisation of provisions for the industrial sector, he said these will pave way for better growth in the country. Citing the amendments in the APMC and Essential Commodity Act, the Prime Minister said these historic changes will help farmers develop a bigger and better market.
किसानों और रूरल इकोनॉमी के लिए जो निर्णय हाल में हुए हैं, उन्होंने एग्रीकल्चर इकोनॉमी को बरसों की गुलामी से मुक्त कर दिया है. सच्ची आजादी किसानों को मिली है. अब भारत के किसानों को अपने प्रोडक्ट, अपनी उपज देश में कहीं पर भी बेचने की आजादी मिल गई है. एपीएमसी एक्ट, एसेंशियल कमोडिटीज एक्ट, उसमें जो संशोधन किए गए हैं, किसानों और इंडस्ट्री के बीच पार्टनरशिप का जो रास्ता खोला गया है, इन फैसलों ने किसान को एक प्रोड्यूसर के रूप में और उसकी उपज को एक प्रोडक्ट के रूप में पहचान दी है.
The Prime Minister said banking services in the country have reached those who were kept in the category of have-nots for a long time. The Prime Minister reckoned the path-breaking policy decisions taken to boost up manufacturing and sale of LED bulbs in the country, which helped save 19,000 crore rupees for the common people. It also reduced carbon dioxide emission by 4 crore ton and saved non-renewable energy resources. He added that the development of inland waterways, banning of single-use plastic, boosting use of digital payment and renewable energy sources have helped drive the economy, benefiting both people and the planet along with equitable gains. Prime Minister Modi said, along with the country, eastern and northeastern states have huge potential to utilize the benefits of the economic reforms to boost their productivity. The Prime Minister appreciated the efforts of the Indian Chamber of Commerce in serving the nation since its creation in 1925. He also applauded the ICC's contribution to the development of the Northeast. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman today said public sector banks, PSBs, have disbursed 12,200 crore rupees to the states and union territories so far. She also said PSBs have sanctioned loans worth 24,260 crore rupees under the 100% Emergency Credit Line Guarantee Scheme, including the disbursed amount. Maximum disbursements were made by the State Bank of India, followed by Canara Bank. The SBI disbursed more than 7,500 crore rupees, whereas the Canara Bank disbursed 814 crore rupees. Public sector banks have disbursed maximum amounts to Tamil Nadu, followed by Uttar Pradesh.
After a contraction in the current financial year, India's economy is forecast to bounce back with a sharp growth rate of 9.5% next fiscal, Fitch Ratings has said. It has forecast a 5% contraction in the GDP in the ongoing financial year. Fitch Ratings said after the global crisis, India's GDP growth is likely to return to higher levels than BBB category peers. To support the economy, the Reserve Bank of India has eased monetary policy by cutting policy rates and providing liquidity through long-term repo operations. Prudential requirements for banks have also been eased to free up liquidity for lending. The government has announced stimulus measures amounting to 10% of the GDP. Union government has constituted an empowered group of secretaries headed by Cabinet Secretary to facilitate investment in the country. The empowered group will assist investment in key sectors of the economy by identifying potential investors. It will also recommend sector-specific and geography-specific incentive packages focusing both on domestic and foreign investors. Along with hand-holding investors, it will identify industrial clusters, land banks, states and areas where investments can be made. Boosting Make in India, the empowered group will also incentivize schemes for creating Indian global champions in sectors of mobile and electronics, medical devices, drugs, auto and textile machinery, among others. The 7-member empowered group has CEO of Niti Aayog, along with secretaries of Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, Commerce, Revenue and Economic Affairs as its members. Uttar Pradesh government has prepared an action plan to provide 10 lakh jobs in the next 6 months. Uttar Pradesh is among the states that has seen large reverse migration during the lockdown. At a high-level unlock review meeting yesterday, Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath also directed district magistrates to generate 1 crore working days of MGNREGA daily from 15th of this month. He said, with the help of departmental convergence, it is possible to generate 1 crore working days through MGNREGA, which will help maximum number of migrant workers and labourers. District magistrates have been asked to review and explore the avenues to generate employment through MGNREGA and send the report to the government within 3 working days. UBCM also directed to commission TrueNat machines in all 75 districts by June 15 to ramp up testing facilities for COVID-19.
The central government today said that the recovery rate has reached 49.21% in the country, and the total number of recovered people from coronavirus reached 1,41,029. During the last 24 hours, 5,823 people have been cured from this virus. Health and Family Welfare Ministry said 9,996 new cases of COVID-19 have been reported in the last 24 hours, taking the total number of cases to 2,86,579 in the country. During the last 24 hours, 357 deaths have been registered, taking the nationwide toll to 8,102. The case fatality rate stood at 2.82% in the country, and the total active corona cases in the country is 1,37,448. India achieved a remarkable feat today by performing more than 1,50,000 COVID-19 tests in a single day. Starting from less than 100 tests per day, a multiple-fold increase in just 2.5 months was made possible by dedicated teams of various stakeholders. It includes research institutions, medical colleges, testing laboratories, ministries, airlines and postal services. Our correspondent tells us more.
The country is going through an unprecedented crisis due to coronavirus pandemic. To effectively deal with this pandemic, government has promoted the indigenous manufacturers for developing equipments and materials required for COVID-19 testing to become self-reliant. In January this year, India had only one testing laboratory for COVID-19 at National Institute of Virology, Pune. Today, 837 laboratories, including government and private laboratories chains, are testing coronavirus samples across the country. ICMR is continuously ramping up its facilities by approving new laboratories and RT-PCR kits for COVID-19 testing. A total of 97 RT-PCR kits of the various companies have been evaluated so far. In collaboration with various agencies, ICMR is also conducting a community-based sero survey. The objective of this survey is to estimate the prevalence of COVID-19 infection in Indian population. In this survey, blood samples from 400 randomly selected individuals from 10 clusters in each district will be collected for detecting IgG antibodies for ELISA test developed by National Institute of Virology. India is also producing high-quality, low-cost testing swabs, which resulted in the production of millions of swabs in record time and at a fraction of the cost of the imported ones. Bhupendra Singh, AIR News, Delhi.
The centre has decided to continue the export curbs only on specific diagnostic kits, reagents and instruments such as swab sterile synthetic fibre, silicon columns and magnetic stand amid the COVID-19 outbreak. In a notification, the Directorate General of Foreign Trade, DGFT, said all other diagnostic kits, reagents, instruments and apparatus are freely exportable, subject to submission of an undertaking by the exporter to the customs authorities at the time of export. Amending the earlier notification, it said only specified diagnostic kits, reagents, instruments and apparatus are restricted for exports, whether as an individual item or as a part of any diagnostic kits and reagent. The other products which are still under restricted category include VTM kits, RNA extraction kits, RT-PCR kits and reagents.
In our series Experts Speak on All India Radio, we bring you the views of the leading medical experts on COVID-19. Dr. Nandakumar, Professor of Psychiatry, AIIMS, suggested that people should stay at home, spend time with family members and practice yoga.
We are going to overcome this crisis within a few weeks. In the coming few weeks, stay at home, spend time with the family, do household works, exercise, listen to music, sing with the family, do yoga, meditation, and take care of emotional need of the family.
Dr. Anvita Agarwal, Resident Infectious Diseases AIIMS, advised people not to be negligent and stay in their homes.
Coronavirus may be invisible, but the number of people affected are very much visible, and the numbers are increasing from day to day. Don't be negligent. Please stay at home.
International Day of Yoga will be celebrated on 21st of June. Ayush Minister Shripad Yesu Naik, the planned program will not be held due to the pandemic this year. He urged everyone to participate in My Life, My Yoga, the video blogging contest announced by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. In his Mann Ki Baat program on 31st of last month, Prime Minister had said that the world has shown keen interest in yoga and Ayurveda amidst the corona pandemic. The competition is being run jointly by Ministry of Ayush and Indian Council for Cultural Relations, ICCR, to raise awareness about yoga and to inspire people to prepare for and become active participants in the observation of International Day of Yoga 2020. In view of the pandemic, this year's International Yoga Day will be celebrated on digital media platforms and there will be no mass gatherings. This year's theme will be Yoga at Home and Yoga with Family. You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says COVID-19 challenge will help in building a self-reliant India, reiterates vocal for local mantra. Government has adopted people-centric, people-driven and planet-friendly approach, says Prime Minister. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman says public sector banks have disbursed 12,200 crore rupees to states and union territories so far. More than 1,50,000 tests being conducted in a day. Recovery rate improves to 49.21% in the country. And INS Shardul with 233 Indians on board to reach Porbandar coast today from Iran. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle and AIR News Alerts.
अपने साथ अपनों का ध्यान रखो, बड़े बुजुर्गों का तुम ध्यान रखो, तो बात करो, कुछ मदद करो, कोरोना के चलते याद रखो, घर की सफाई ना भूलना, हाथों को धोना मत भूलना, सुरक्षित दादा दादी नाना नानी अभियान, अपने साथ अपनों का ध्यान.
INS Shardul, carrying 233 Indians stranded in Iran, is expected to arrive at the Porbandar coast by late afternoon today. Official sources said the naval ship is likely to arrive at Porbandar coast this afternoon, but its journey is subject to climatic conditions. Quoting the officials, our correspondent reports that most of the repatriates are fishermen from Valsad district. In view of COVID-19 pandemic, the repatriates will be entrusted to the care of state authorities after reaching Porbandar. The ship had embarked on its journey from port of Bandar Abbas in Iran on Monday evening under the Operation Samudra Setu of the Indian Navy. A chartered flight arranged by SACO contracting company in Dammam landed at the Mangaluru International Airport in Karnataka today with 175 people stranded in Saudi Arabia. The passengers included 61 senior citizens, 55 pregnant women, 35 children and 20 people who needed urgent medical aid. The company itself will be arranging quarantine and testing facilities for the passengers. The company had set up a help desk to finalize the list of passengers and had given priority to senior citizens and pregnant ladies, those in need of medical aid and those who had to return urgently. Kerala has recorded one more COVID death, taking the death toll to 18 in the state. A 70-year-old native of Kannur who had returned from Muscat recently succumbed to the virus. The patient was also under treatment for cancer. Presently, 1,238 active COVID cases have been reported in Kerala.
3 more positive cases of COVID-19 were reported today in Andaman and Nicobar Islands. With this, the tally of cases in the islands has gone up to 5. More from our correspondent.
The 3 family members of the first case who returned back from Chennai to Port Blair on 7th June found positive in sample testing. They are all now admitted to JB Pant Hospital in Port Blair. Meanwhile, the contact tracing work has been started to contain the spread of the virus. 53 houses in the contained area marked as quarantine, and the taxi driver have also traced. A list of co-passengers of the flight have been compiled for sample testing. Gaurav Patwal, AIR News, Port Blair.
In Chandigarh, today, 4 family contacts of a COVID-positive patient have tested positive for the novel coronavirus. With this, in Chandigarh, number of positive cases of COVID-19 has risen to 332, while number of active COVID-19 cases has risen to 38. In Union Territory, 5 corona patients have died and 289 patients have been cured so far. In Madhya Pradesh, the number of corona patients rose to 10,049, while 427 patients have died so far. 6,892 people have recovered from the infection so far, while the number of active cases are 2,730. More than 228,000 samples have been tested in the state till now. A report.
The coronavirus recovery rate in Madhya Pradesh has gone up to 68.6%, which is the second best in the country after Rajasthan. The rate was barely 9% on April 13. Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan held a review meeting of officials on the coronavirus situation in the state. In the meeting, it was informed that coronavirus cases in the state are doubling in 31 days against average doubling rate of 14.17 days at the national level. Sanjeev Sharma, AII News, Bhopal.
In Jharkhand, the recovery of patients has brought relief for the migrants coming from the state. 592 patients have recovered and have been discharged from hospitals. The mortality rate in Jharkhand has been just 0.52%, which is very low than the national average of 2.8%. Presently, 1,551 cases of COVID-19 have been detected in Jharkhand so far. More from our correspondent.
Despite the sudden spike in the number of cases detected in Jharkhand, patients are being cured within a week span. Although most of the cases detected are asymptomatic in nature and pertain to the age group of 12 to 30 years, the immunity in natives of Jharkhand is very high. Nodal Officer for COVID-19, Dr. Brajesh Mishra, told AIR News that the recent trend of recovery shows that 90% of the patients have recovered from COVID-19 in less than 5 days. The test conducted on the 8th day of detection of COVID-19 as per standard protocol of Ministry of Health, the reports of the patients are mostly negative. Shilpi, AIR News, Ranchi.
2 more new cases of COVID-19 were reported in Nagaland today, taking the total positive cases in the state to 130. Active cases stands at 108 and 22 people have recovered. The high-powered committee headed by Chief Minister Nefiu Rio in a review meeting held yesterday decided to allow opening of religious places in the state. It will be subject to the provisions of SOPs issued by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. In Mizoram, 9 fresh positive cases were confirmed in the last 24 hours for COVID-19, taking the total cases to 102. One patient was cured. In a tweet, Chief Minister Zoramthanga highlighted the need for unity. He said that there is no me or you in this fight, rather it is us who have to win this war. An official statement said that out of 251 samples tested yesterday at Zoram Medical College, ZMC Hospital Lab, 9 samples were confirmed positive. All of them who are under institutional quarantine have recently returned from different states.
Assam Chief Minister Sarbanand Sonowal has ordered an inquiry into the Bagjan incident. Official sources said that the Chief Minister asked Additional Chief Secretary Maninder Singh to conduct the probe and submit a report within 15 days. Oil India Limited has suspended 2 engineers for alleged negligence in duty. The spread of fire to neighbouring areas has been controlled. Efforts are being made to douse the well fire, which is still blazing. In Jammu and Kashmir, an army personnel was martyred and a civilian injured as the Pakistani army heavily shelled villages and forward posts along the line of control in Rajouri and Poonch districts today. Defence sources said the Pakistani army opened fire and shelled civilian areas and forward posts in the Nowshera sector this morning. Indian troops guarding the border gave a befitting reply. This is the 4th consecutive day of firing and shelling by the Pakistan army. Last night also several houses were damaged as Pakistani troops opened fire and shelled mortars in over villages along the LOC, Nowshera and Balakot sectors with heavy mortars. Indian Army retaliated effectively. Indian Institute of Technology Madras is the best higher education institution in the country according to the National Institutional Ranking Framework released by Human Resource Development Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank today. Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore has bagged the 2nd position and IIT Delhi is in the 3rd position. Midday House has been chosen as the best college, followed by Lady Shri Ram and Hindu College. IISc Bangalore has topped universities category in the rankings, followed by Jawaharlal Nehru University and Banaras Hindu University. In an effort to guard against fake news being circulated on various platforms, we bring you our segment on fact-checking and mythbusters. The government has termed as false and misleading a message circulating on social media claiming that the National Scholarship Portal is offering a scholarship of 10,000 rupees for college students. In a tweet, Press Information Bureau said the message is fake. It urged people to be wary of such fraudulent websites.
Conditions are becoming favourable for further advancement of southwest monsoon in some more parts of Maharashtra, and it is expected to arrive within the next 48 hours in the state. Some parts of the state are experiencing pre-monsoon showers since last night. Although there was respite from hot and humid atmosphere, the heavy rain disrupted normal life in some parts of Marathwada as well as Bhiwandi in Maharashtra. More from our correspondent.
Pre-monsoon showers lashed Hingoli, Parbhani, Solapur districts last night. Due to heavy rains, waterlogging was experienced at some places in Hingoli, and cotton and turmeric seeds were washed away, which was sown by the farmers in the district. Heavy rains lashed Parbhani city, and many houses in the slum area were flooded due to waterlogging. Power supply was cut at many places in the city. The powerloom city of Bhiwandi also experienced heavy rains and waterlogging and had to face power cut. Districts in Konkan region are also experiencing heavy rains since morning. According to Regional Meteorological Center in Mumbai, thunderstorm accompanied with lightning and gusty winds is expected in the coastal districts as well as some other districts of Maharashtra in the next 36 hours. Shailesh Patil, AIR News, Mumbai.
Now let us take a look at the weather for today. The national capital Delhi will have generally cloudy sky with light rain. Minimum temperature recorded was 26 degrees and maximum is expected to go up to 41. In Mumbai, rain or thunder showers would occur towards evening or night. The minimum temperature recorded was 24 and maximum will be around 29. Chennai will see a generally cloudy sky. The minimum temperature recorded was 30 and maximum is expected to go up to 39. Kolkata will have a partly cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. The minimum temperature was 27 while maximum will be around 34. In Dehradun, the temperature is expected to hover between 25 and 36 with a partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. Bengaluru witnessed minimum temperature of 21 and the maximum is expected at 30. The city will see a generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Forecast for Ahmedabad says generally cloudy sky with light rain. Minimum temperature was 27 while maximum will be around 37. Guwahati will have a generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Minimum temperature in the city was 24 while maximum will be around 32. In the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, the minimum temperature was 25 in Jammu while maximum will be around 36 degrees Celsius. The city is likely to have partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. In Srinagar, the minimum temperature was 14 while maximum will be around 29. There is a forecast of partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm for the city. In Gilgit, the temperature is likely to hover between 17 and 36 with partly cloudy sky and possibility of rain or thunderstorm. In Muzaffarabad, the sky will be partly cloudy with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. The city recorded minimum temperatures of 16 while maximum will be around 34.
The maritime ports of Chattogram, Cox's Bazar, Mongla and Para in Bangladesh have been asked to hoist the local cautionary signal number 3. The warning message issued by the Met Department of Bangladesh on Thursday morning said that a low-pressure area has been formed over the East Central Bay and West Central Bay, which may cause squally weather over the North Bay and adjoining coastal areas of Bangladesh. It warned all fishing boats and trawlers in this area to come close to the coast and proceed with caution and not venture deep into the sea till further notice. The Met Department has predicted light to moderate rain and thunder showers accompanied by squally winds at many places over Chattogram, Barisal and Sylhet divisions and a few places over Dhaka, Mymensingh and Khulna divisions. Some places in Barisal, Chattogram and Sylhet divisions may also experience moderately heavy to heavy rains today. The capital city Dhaka has been experiencing drizzle since early morning on Thursday.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says COVID-19 challenge will help in building a self-reliant India, reiterates vocal for local mantra. Government has adopted people-centric, people-driven and planet-friendly approach, says the Prime Minister. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman says public sector banks have disbursed 12,200 crore rupees to the states and union territories so far. More than 1,50,000 tests being conducted in a day. Recovery rate improves to 49.21% in the country. And INS Shardul with 233 Indians on board to reach Porbandar coast today from Iran. And with that, we end the midday news.